If you haven't, kindly give consideration to, hitting that subscribe button so that you are notified when I upload a content or when I'm live streaming. Okay, you can also follow me on Instagram at Franklin. Now, it's been a while. I'm back, fully back now to content creation. So let's talk about this particular story. I wanted to share this a while back, but I got a little busy. So I want to talk about identity, the identity crisis, and how it's affecting us as Africans. And this dates back to, invasion of Africa that happened centuries ago and affected generations, the brainwash, the psychological damage, implantation of religiosity, which is also a major weapon that's damaged the minds of our people. Now, Aboru Aboye, if you're watching me for the first time, I'm a proud Ifa initiate and a practitioner of same, okay, proud follower of the works of Orunmila, Barami Agbomiregun, okay. Ifa is basically African spirituality, and it's absolutely powerful. And I've been able to bless so many lives by offering Ifa divination services, appeasements, and the list goes on. So there was a time I went into a Chinese restaurant in a popular part of London. I'm not going to name them. I ordered my food, and minutes later they brought my food. And as I carried on eating, enjoying my meal, I looked right at the top of the Chinese restaurant's entrance. And in Yoruba, there's this thing called ado. It's like a container type thing, and where they can put, traditionalists normally use it. They can put stuff inside and stuff. Anyway, it's reasonably sized. I'm going to show it in this video. It was hanging right at the top of the entrance. So that caught my attention. Looked a bit out of place. So the long and short, I asked the gentleman, I beckoned politely, the gentleman that served me, and I asked him, I said, bro, how you doing? I said, what's that thing hanging at the top of your door? He looked, and he looked back at me, and he smiled. And he said, at first he said, it's for good luck. I said, what do you mean good luck? So he smiled. Then he came around my table to the side, and then he said, it's for wealth. It's to draw crowd into the establishment and to ensure that you part with your money, you get to spend money with the business, so that way they get better. In Yoruba, Akpeni Aworo or Awuri. Does that make sense? At some point in this video, I'm going to incorporate an advert about one of the Ifa products and services that I provide. Aboru Aboye, if you're interested in Oshe Awuri, Oshe Ifa, to Daju, get in touch with me. This is the Awure soap, okay? Several things went into this. I can't disclose. It's really extensive. Ifa soap that's powerful, okay? This is a leftover of the Awure. This one here is Asheta. Asheta. This is another type of soap at the bottom. This is the leftover of the Awure that's in this container. So why don't you give me a call today? Contact me via Instagram DM if you're interested, and order your own Awure soap. It brings blessings. It brings open doors. Bugubitiri ayé tó hámọ́ kó máa tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Kó máa rájé pè ránṣẹ́, ajé ògúngúlísọ̀, kó fàyè wá ṣe bùjókòó, ọwọ́ wa ò ní kàn sàlẹ̀ àpò. Gbogbo ibi tó bá wọ̀ báyìí, kíre lọ́tùn, ire lósì, ire àìkú baálẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kó máa jẹ́ titi wa láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ọṣẹ Awure. So, but do you get what I'm saying? This guy looked at me confidently, this Chinese man, and he said, it's for wealth and, to draw customers and to ensure that they carry on doing well. Their food was great and all that. Now, do you know what I found fascinating on that day as I sat on that chair? One was the man's confidence. There was, from my point of view, there was nothing wrong, but I was fascinated. They hanged it openly. And he said, you know, if you go to the basement of our, you know, we have other things, but he didn't go into further details. I appreciate that. And he looked at me. This was around my neck, this, my Idefa. Do you know that that man, he looked at my wrist, right? That was on my wrist. That man knew exactly what this was. I didn't have to say anything. He goes, oh, that's Ifa. So I said, oh, what do you know about Ifa? I was smiling, and he told me about, you know, a little bit about Oromila and all that. And I was interested. I was shocked. I wouldn't lie. And I smiled. I carried on eating. And he said, oh, I know Ifa is very powerful. I have a friend who has a Babalawo in Nigeria that does a lot of work for him, and it works. And they've had a relationship for more than 7 years. And so I jokingly said, so you're not a religious person? He goes, religion, Western religion. And he smiled. He goes, my friend, if you understand the secrets of the universe, you keep your head down, you enjoy them, and you do well. He proudly pointed at it again. He goes, what's wrong with this? We're not harming anybody. You know, this is to invite the spirit of wealth so that we can do well and all that. In Yoruba, Akbini Aworu. Now, the reason I'm saying this is, imagine if that's a black-owned business. If I walked into a Nigerian restaurant and that person has Ado, that sort of container hanging at the top of the door, it will be the black people that will propagandize and run to the social media to call the person demonic, to say they are evil. So for the most part, when people do this, they have to conceal it. And then in the front end of their daily lives, they have to also lead a lie and present themselves as Christians or Muslims or whatnot, so that people don't find out exactly what works for them. You get it? Why? This is because of the brainwash, societal conditioning, the psychological damage. You see, what belongs to us in Africa, our people have been so damaged that we see it as ugly, we see it as deadly, we see it as disgusting, we see it as, oh no, the white man told me this is demonic, so this is demonic. Oh, this is juju. I asked somebody recently, what do you mean by juju? Where did you get that word from? What's juju? It's the mental conditioning that if I say I'm an Ifa practitioner, I have an Oluwo, which is called Oluawo in full, a Babalawo that I work with. They have instantaneously, there's a feeling of disgust on the face of some people. Some people even see this around your neck. And I'm talking black folks, you know, they're judging you. But, you know, thankfully, my mental strength is right up there with oxygen, okay? You can't make me bend over or make me feel some type of way. I walk in my truth, and I crack the edge of the pavement when I walk, figuratively speaking. And so you look and look and look, and you'll end up looking away, because I take pride in Ifa that I believe in, that I practice, which my ancestors practiced before the invaders came with their lies and their so-called religion. Okay? In order for you to be able to beat your chest about black excellence, in order for us to talk about black excellence, we are going to need to retrace our steps. And I understand someone might watch this and say, oh, this is not for me. But that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be for you. But I am fully aware of my identity. I'm a proud Yoruba man. I'm a proud African. I'm proud of my roots. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I got news for you. Very recently, I was in Nigeria. You will be amazed how people back home ogle at you, look at you. Some of them, sometimes in some places, with disdain, curiosity. This guy, why's he got these around his neck? And so, don't be fooled. Ifa is heavily practiced in Nigeria, but there are most everyday people have normalized hypocrisy and lie. They pretend, they show church, mosques and all that, but a lot of them enjoy the potency of Ifa African spirituality behind the scenes. But they must show themselves as pastors, as believers of these, believers of that, in terms of, Pentecostal gatherings and things like that. But anyway, that's my simple message. Walk in your truth, embrace your identity.